Most people go to their graves believing suffering is unavoidable. How sad that is. If you turn from the possibility that it could be otherwise, you will suffer needlessly until the day you die. But here is something. The end of suffering would be the least of the benefits if you became free. The real miracle is not the profound undoing of anguish, but the riches that would flood the freed up space. It's the consciousness that waits to come. That state of pure well-being that has no content, that needs nothing to sustain it. It does wait. It will wait as long as you take. It's the most patient thing in the world, for it's the only thing that endures. And that's why I've written this book, so that you'll not be able to turn away from the real possibility of a life shot through with joy. What happened to me can happen to you. You may not believe it's possible to become free, to cease suffering, to have joy running like a warm stream beneath every day, no matter what the day brings you. But I'm here to tell you it is possible. The liberated state is a real thing. It's available to you. Simply acknowledging that and living daily with that possibility could increase your awareness of its presence within you. By accepting that there is a deeper reality beyond the one you ordinarily perceive, by stepping outside of the mind, you can bring about a reduction in suffering. This is the case whether or not you become fully established in that awareness. Though there's no guarantee of becoming liberated, it's absolutely worth turning towards the possibility of it. Turning towards it is a win-win situation. What do you have to lose? A little suffering? A lot? It's all the busy work of the mind that you need to let wind down, run out of gas. Watch the stories you tell yourself. Notice the ways you define yourself in relation to other people, to events, to ideas. Observe yourself interpreting phenomena, how you feel about them, how you behave in response to them. Become aware as you move through each day of how tenacious the mind is, how unrelentingly it goes over and over the same tired terrain. Each time you decline to become engaged in the workings of the storytelling mind, obsessed with past and future, with your sense of identity, you will feel an ease come into your awareness, a relaxation of whatever has had you in its grip. The more you experience this spaciousness, the easier it will be to let it come about. Watch the mind, but don't judge what you're seeing it doing. Neither berate yourself nor congratulate yourself. Don't beat yourself up for what you catch yourself doing, even if it's for the umpteenth time. It isn't a tender-hearted, self-forgiving stance that leads me to urge this non-judgmental approach. I'm not saying love and accept yourself for all your warts. The point is, it's neither here nor there how your mind judges what you do. It's the judging that's the problem, because it indicates you're taking too seriously the life of the mind. If you're hard on yourself or praise yourself for the activity in your head, you're giving your mind power over you. The point is not to invest any of it with substantiality. Any kind of judgment only feeds the ego with the illusion that this stuff is valuable. Starve the ego to death. Its ongoing vitality is like a wall that keeps you from seeing clearly who you really are. Learning to laugh at the blustering, self-important ego will probably get you further than all the heartfelt, self-flagellating, earnest striving in the world. Never forget that you have built the wall. Just by participating in the human condition, which includes the mind with its enormous power to delude and all the conditioning that tells us untruths about who we are. You can destroy the wall, not brick by brick, but all at once, this very moment. Simply accept the reality of ecstatic, empty consciousness. Turn your face towards the possibility of liberation. Allow your longing for it to be something you carry within you. And then relax. Don't work like crazy. Realizing your true nature has much more to do with giving in, leaning, falling. Rather than effort, it asks for receptivity, a passivity. It asks for noticing, recognition. It's a trapdoor kind of thing. Let your mind drift. Let your eyes go out of focus. Listen. It's about resting, letting your guard down. Because what you're after is already your condition, and other things are in the way of your discovering that fact. All you have to do is discover what you've already got, and that's why it's called realization. You realize what's already there, and what's been there right along. You just can't feel it. And just because you can't always feel it doesn't mean it isn't real. Remind yourself of this as often as you need to. There is nothing you need to do first. Becoming free takes care of everything else you ever thought you needed to do. It's wildly efficient. Allow your teachers, your readings, your retreats to bring you face to face with your ego, to open the door to the musty little room where it feeds and waters and dresses and grooms itself, desperate to stay alive. If a teacher or a practice or path nurtures your ability to let go of ego, allow it to happen. If outer supports aren't leading you to the scary room, they need to be let go. They aren't helping you. There are many ways to truth. You may not even recognize your way for what it is. Even if you think of yourself as being on a particular path, chances are later on you'll look back and have a different understanding of how you got there. Be ready to be surprised. This process will take you by the hand, or more likely by the scruff of the neck. You won't be directing it, and to the extent you try to, you'll be putting yourself into a stall. Let your path be the particulars of your existence, the things that naturally arise in the course of daily life. They carry enough teachings to fill a library full of books, a life's worth of retreats. In the end, ordinary life will be the only indispensable teacher, the one whose lessons you cannot bypass.